Hey everybody, my name is MetalMusicMan.
And I'm Professor Lex.
And this is episode 29.
We know that.
Of the Metal and Lex podcast.
It's what's great about that is that we didn't have to look it up and we just knew that.
We knew it. We definitely
knew
didn't.
Off the top of our
we
heads.
didn't pause and look it up before we did the intro.
No. We don't do any kind of preparing before we do this.
Well, that's generally true. We did 1 millisecond of prep for finding out the episode number. Yeah, minimum, the absolute... Yeah. I don't even know if that can qualify as the bare,
bare minimum. It didn't feel like work.
It might have, it might have missed the qualifications as the bare minimum. So this week, we're going to talk about what we just did, which you may or may not have watched us stream this afternoon.
If you were unaware, it is currently the year of our Lord, 2020. And that means that Street Fighter 4 came out about 12 years ago. So it would probably be in sixth grade or something. I don't know how children work, but be haunted. Be haunted.
Be haunted by the oldness. Oh, Street Fighter. I think that is right. 6th grade, 12.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
Yeah. So anyway, we played a game that's in 6th grade in a tournament capacity. I hoodwinked. Will, you're stuck. I made it. I anthropomorphized Street Fighter and made it a child, and he can't be seen playing a child.
I feel like I shouldn't be hanging out with Street Fighter. With Street Fighter 4,
give it 6 years. Wait until it's matured.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I've been drinking around it.
For years.
Yeah,
it's seen you at your lowest.
Oh God,
it was.
Oh God!
No, wait, hold on. It's getting worse again.
It is.
Yeah. But that aside, there was I don't know if you're familiar with Jacoman, whatever. Yakoman. However he says his name, he has a channel a YouTube, Twitchy gaming empire
network
called Unveiled Gaming, and I'm a part of their Discord because I played a Marvel PS4 tournament and had a terrible time. But
how many followers do they have?
Got to be dozens, right?
I looked up Unveiled Gaming on YouTube, and there are no channel results.
Look up Jackman.
Unveiled Gaming has 2.4K subscribers, but I don't think that's not. It says it's a game company. Jackman Gaming?
No, it's like Jackman number, like 64 or something.
Jackman.
Yeah.
He has 3.6K subscribers.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
That's what, 100 times better than 300 times better than me? Anyway, it's not about
half
that.
what I have, and we've been wondering...
Sorry, I forgot you.
We've been wondering why I don't host these tournaments. Yeah. This is what, I had a harebrained idea after we played this tournament. And then Lex was like, yeah, you should do that. You should host your own tournaments and stream them.
Yeah, fuck
and we can do commentary. And I was like, yeah, that is a good idea, me. Good thinking. But then I'm just thinking about having to actually host a tournament, and that sounds awful. Does anyone want to host a tournament for me? And I'll just do commentary with Lex, and I'll stream it. But you can run the challenge and
challenge can't be that hard.
It's not hard. I just don't want to do it.
Let's do a 12-man Grand Blue bracket.
All right.
It'll be you and me and Pharaoh, and we'll just have a good time. There's just one gnat still left in your party.
At least 2 gnats because we've both been swatting
at the same time.
Yeah. It's a quantum
really
gnat. It's in 2 places. Did you say a really long gnat?
Yes. That's worse somehow.
That's
right?
horrifying. That's horrifying. A gnat that was as skinny as. It was as skinny as a normal gnat, but that was long enough to reach 12 feet between us, just flying around in the air. Yeah, that shit would accidentally fucking goss your neck off, dude. Yeah. What the fuck? Oh my god! Oh, that's horrifying.
Sorry,
I'm gonna have nightmares. A really long,
about the long gnat.
A really long. Mom and Dad, I'm scared of long gnat. Long gnat isn't real, son. Long gnat can't hurt you. And then they close the door and it's and it lays across my entire body and it just
and it's still going on.
Oh god.
Because if you were asleep and it was laying on your body, it would also be on the couch.
Oh yes. Yeah, that's awful. I don't want to think about long gnat ever again. I feel like if it was a giant 12-foot bug that was like a normal proportion for being 12 foot, that would be less scary. If it was like a 12-foot dragonfly, I'd be like, yeah, that's a big dragonfly.
Yeah, that's huge. That's scary.
But the fact that it's like extremely thin and tiny, but still that long, dude, it could like, oh my God, it could like fly in your nose and come out your butt and like it'd be, God.
You'd have to hold your head straight up. But yeah, it would be able to spear straight through you and like prop you up another 3 or 4 feet.
Oh my God, Long Nat. Please no Long Nat. No Long Nat. So anyway, as you might notice, we are pizza drunk once more. We made 2 giant pizzas. They were delicious.
Oh Lord.
We went 0-2 in our Street Fighter tournament.
We did. That is the punchline. We played in a tournament.
I feel like I played well in a game and you played well in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lex beat a Chun, which is like a really horrible matchup.
Not just for Honda, but for me.
Didn't beat anyone, which was horrible. I lost 2-1 to a Sagat, and then I lost in a way that was frustrating because I had him in a checkmate chip kill scenario, and I just did the wrong chip kill option, and so I died, and it was unfortunate. But it was fun. I haven't played Street Fighter 4 in 10 million years, like actually seriously.
Yeah,
and it was I haven't had like I noticed when I was playing that I had the like the adrenaline nerves.
Game jitters?
Yeah, the game jitters.
Did you watch me have that or no?
No, I
Okay,
mean,
you
I
go
just
ahead.
assume that's just your natural hand motion doing hands at a million miles an hour.
Yeah, when I float my hand up and it holds relatively still,
Yeah.
that's fine. But I had my left hand on the buttons, so like on the move buttons, all of my buttons are both.
All of your buttons are buttons.
My left hand is on the movement arrows, right? I was trying to down back, and I was like literally incapable of it. I was holding like one. I could anchor one finger to a button, and the rest were just like vibrating in the air.
Yeah, I haven't had like the nerves like that in a while because
there's no pressure.
Yeah. No, it was really fun, and I got some sick shit. I got my forward hard punch fireball clash super, so that was cool. You beat a Chun-Li, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good for me.
Ass matchup,
Yeah.
so. But yeah, we got really fucked because the team we lost to was Bison Chun, which is literally a team comprised of both of our worst matchups.
We were talking strategy before, and you were like, as long as I don't run into a bison, I was like, if there are any bisons, I will take care of them for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, but if I see a Chun, I'm going to shrivel up. And you said, no, don't worry.
I'll take care of the Chun.
I got you, baby.
But then the team we fought was, because it's AABB.
Yeah, it's
so
the Waseda
player
style.
A fights player A, player B fights player B. So their order was such that I had to fight the Bison and Lex had to fight the Chun. It was awful.
Just ugly.
He did beat the Chun, but he lost to the Bison, surprisingly.
Yeah, he was
beat
good.
us both.
He made the adjustment because I won the first game.
You lost 1-2, right?
Yeah, I won the first game, then he took the next 2. But like, he made the adjustment.
He lamed it out pretty well.
If you play lame for all of like 3 or 4 seconds, I'm going to butt slam.
Lex,
if you don't play lame, I'm probably going to butt slam anyway. So, it's a fact of life.
Sometimes you got to butt slam, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, that game is dead, but it's still pretty cool, and people do randomly play it, and that was fun. Shout outs to Endgamer, the
he
brawl
was in
player.
The tournament and ignored
he got
us.
like 3rd or 4th. I think.
Probably
third.
Like 3rd or 4th.
I think it was like 3rd.
Yeah,
I wouldn't swear to it, but he was up there. He teamed up with Soul Synapse, who's like an old Street Fighter 4 player from the online era.
Jury,
who I knew.
What a good jury.
Yeah, they did good. They had Jury Sakura. I thought we were gonna do a little better than we did. We got
better
pretty
than 0-2?
We got pretty bracket fucked. I can't lie.
We did.
I mean, honestly,
it was ugly because like it's not a winning matchup. Our first matchup was Sagat Chun. So
I could have beat that Chun, and I could have beat the Sagat.
You very nearly.
I could have carried us on that game if you, and I think you could have carried. You could have carried us in the other one. Yeah, it was close. You almost got that Bison. Anyway, old games are old. But yeah, I don't know. That's what we were talking about after we did it. Is like, why don't we stream that? Because one of the things, hats off to Jackoman and all them for running it.
Seriously.
But their audio on the stream was just like so low. We couldn't even hear the commentary.
We could barely hear the game, and that's just from memory mostly. Remember that there's supposed to be crunching noises when people punch.
It was extremely low. Like it was like literally like I had been just playing music on my speakers at the same volume, and it was like borderline too loud,
almost. Not
and
quite,
then then like switching that stream, we literally could not hear it at all. I was like, I would have to turn my speakers up like overload times 10 in order to hear this. So anyway, that brought us to the point where we were like, we should just do this. We're good commentators.
Yeah, because we were doing commentary.
We are the best
anyway.
commentary. Dare You of all time. Like, I don't know if anybody knows that,
but we don't have a celebrity mashup name. Like,
we don't.
Ultra Chin.
We could be Metallics. Metallics. Metal-X?
Alex Music Man.
Lexlan.
You're chopping it up and distributing it over all of your syllables, right?
Yes.
That's what's happening. Okay.
Lexlan. Triple L. There it is.
LLL.
That's it. That's the one.
Okay.
LLL. Yeah, but no. I think we could do that. So that's something we're going to think about. But on the topic of dead games, this podcast, Street Fighter 4 is my dead game of choice, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're still. Are you still?
Probably Marvel. If
over Skullgirls for you?
I don't know that Skullgirls is dead because they're adding a new character.
Oh, boy.
It doesn't fit the definition of a dead game in the classical sense that I'm used to.
It's not supported at all by the developer. That's your like criteria.
When the developer washes their hands of it and
and a new game comes out.
Yeah. Something comes out to replace it, to fill the void. There's nothing that has replaced Skullgirls' void.
That's a good point. Yeah, and Marvel is definitively dead because not only is it unsupported, but they made Marvel Infinite.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, there's community support, and like even
well, what a
when
community
MBCI
support.
Came out,
I mean,
MBC3 still had an Evo appearance after MBCI was out.
Did it really?
Yeah,
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, it was safe. Hashtag Marvel Lives. It was a whole. They had like a donation drive campaign.
Did they put Marvel Infinite in Evo that year too?
No, it didn't make the cut. It was kind of good for me.
I don't remember that at all. Was that 2018?
I think so. But yeah, no, it's like it's had a resurgence, and like there's a lot that can be done for a community carrying a game, but without developer support, with the game being so old, and with a lot of people being able to say whether or not it's true that a game has been replaced by something new, and game's probably dead.
This is what I struggle with because like when you talk about like how hard or easy it is to do, there's always like the giant glaring on fire shining beacon of a gorilla in the room where Melee is just like sitting there and they're like, hey, fuck all of you, try harder.
Yeah.
But like
Melee's what, 2001?
Oh,
19-year-old game?
Melee's old as shit. Yeah. It's damn near 20 years. Yeah. I think it might be 2002 or some shit, but it's up there. Let's look that up. Melee.
If I'm right, I'm going to be really smug about
date.
it. I just
2001.
Yeah.
So
I knew.
Yeah, it's 19 years old this November.
Yeah.
So damn near 19, and will be 20 next year. I don't know though. I struggle with that because like Melee has, I think, a couple things going for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not the least of which is the fact
it was made by aliens.
No. Although that would be something, and there might be something to that. But okay, I'm gonna pin the thing about Sakurai.
Do you know the conspiracy theory?
What?
Do you know the conspiracy theory that Melee was made by aliens or
this
time
is real?
travelers? Yeah.
No, I don't.
It's either aliens or time travelers or alien time travelers made Melee and brought it to us because it's so weirdly deep. Like there's stuff in it that doesn't make any sense. Like why was the game made this way?
Okay, but I was just watching. There's that channel. Awesome Sauce, something like that, but it's spelled weird.
I don't know.
It's a channel that does like Melee videos, and I was just watching a video they did the other day that blew my mind because it has this section in it where he's talking about all the things that are and aren't actually glitches in Melee, because there are a lot of weird glitches. And so the one he's talking about like wave dashing, and he's got this post from like some Japanese forum in like 2002 where somebody or earlier.
Yeah, it was like 2001.
And this guy's like, hey, did you guys know that if you play like Luigi and you jump and you air dodge really fast into the ground, you'll like slide across the ground. And more importantly, when you slide, you can like do whatever you want out of it. And everybody's like, wow, that's really crazy. That's really crazy.
Who gives a shit? It's a fun party game.
And then there's a reply to that. Do you know about this?
Where it's called like super dashing in the game's
no.
like debug menu?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. So there's a reply to this thread where some guy says, after this guy's like, oh, did you know that you dash into the ground and this happens? It's kind of weird. This reply is like, hey man, yeah, that's really cool. You can also do this, this, and this. here are all the ways that this works. Here's why it works. Because the game thinks you're having traction, and that's like a totally intended thing. You can also use it to do this, this, and this, by the way. And then he's like, hey, thanks. And then 5 seconds later in the video, someone's like, oh, who made that post? Sakurai. Sakurai replied to a dude in 2001 and was like, oh yeah, that wave dash thing, here's another thing you can do. So like, he knew all about it. Now, whether it was at one point in development
and then like canned and
whether it was at one point an accident that they decided to keep or whatever, it's not really relevant. They did know about it.
Yeah.
I don't think they realized how much you could use it to where it was like the primary
and no one ever does
of movement, etc. But like he knew about it. So point being, like, Sakurai actually is a genius. He's just...
Is he a genius or is he just like average intelligence for an alien time traveler?
Well, I suppose it doesn't matter either way.
To our tiny human brains.
He is a genius. And like, I do think a lot of what he has done to quote unquote ruin Smash over the years by, the newer iterations being dumber or whatever the fuck and having less options. I think it's just a factor of him trying to make the games accessible. Mm-hmm. And he has had varying degrees of success with it.
I would say success.
There have been games where he has done it better or worse while alienating people more or less.
Yeah.
But at any rate, okay, this is a bit off the rails for what we initially got on this for, which is to say that when Melee's being the big elephant in the room and Melee's like, hey, look at me, I'm fine. The biggest thing I think Melee has going for it that no one ever credits is, and I'm not about to misspeak, so listen carefully, is the lack of developer support.
Oh, yeah, because Nintendo would have fucking ruined Melee if they had half a chance.
They would have ruined Melee, A, but B, more importantly, the fact that they don't care or support the new games, they don't support them. They don't support them.
Games?
Yeah, they don't support them. They don't.
Which games? What are you talking about?
New Smash games.
Like New Smash?
Yeah, they make DLC, but they don't like support the tournament scene. Yeah. So they don't support the tournament scene. They support the game, but not the tournament scene. So to clarify, so because they don't support the tournament scene, that leaves all that room. Whereas like people are always like, well, Melee did it. Street Fighter 4 can do it. I don't agree. Street Fighter 4 can't.
Not to the same
because
way.
Capcom is funneling money into Street Fighter 5 tournaments.
Actively.
So if Nintendo was like, you enter this Smash tournament and the winner gets $100,000 for Smash Ultimate, no one would play Melee.
Yeah, because everyone wants $100,000. That's part of the
no one would do
mystique of the fighting.
And then people are always like, oh no, they do. They like, they advertise. They're an advertiser for this tournament.
Then why does Leffen, who hates New Smash, play it?
Play what?
New Smash.
Play New Smash?
Yeah.
Well, he really doesn't anymore very much.
Well, no one plays Smash anymore, not really. But like, he did.
But they don't. Well, he doesn't play it. But okay, I think he just plays because it's the happening game right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, eventually it will die more so than even like Street Fighter 5 would die. Because as much as everyone hates Street Fighter 5, if Sony and Capcom put a $500,000 pop bonus into the Capcom Cup, people are going to go, and people can be like, "Well, Nintendo advertised at Genesis." Okay, fine, but the pot at Genesis is what?
Was the draw.
What's the pot?
Yeah,
like $25,000 is like the whole pot or some shit. Like I don't even know. It's nothing. You don't get shit for winning those tournaments. Like the winner of Genesis probably got $10,000 or some shit. I don't even know. Like some small amount. It's not comparatively. It's not comparable. Like to Infiltration winning $150,000 and a
brand new car
from one tournament. It just isn't comparable. Now that was for Street Fighter 4, but like they started funneling that money into 5.
They stopped putting.
So why would you ever? And so there is no incentive. And like say what you want, however good the game is, whatever. At the end of the day, the best of the best of the best of the best are trying to make that money. So are all the sponsors. So I don't think you can compare, but I think Melee can because it's never been pushed out by its own company's
never
initiative
intended to be made obsolete. No one ever actively tried to kill. Well, they did try to kill Melee.
They tried.
But they didn't try hard enough, and they
didn't try hard enough, and they failed.
It
made it better.
That's
another big factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that Melee would have made it if Brawl hadn't been so bad.
Yes.
I don't think Melee would be what it is today in the year of our Lord 2020.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same for Smash 4. They're routinely bad. Yeah. Ultimate is the first game since Melee that's like any good.
Yeah.
That's any good, comparatively speaking.
That can stand on its own. Everything else was just the new hotness for the time.
Exactly. And then it always like reverted back so here's the thing. Now that they've done that though, because Melee is so old, it's like even weirder because you've got like all the weird mod shit where people are fucking programming rollback GGPO into Melee, and it's like, holy shit.
That's exactly the kind of support you want from a developer.
But you can't do that with a game that isn't like 20 years old.
Something that isn't dead.
Yeah, it has to have died, and the company doesn't care. It's 3 games back. Nintendo doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But you couldn't have made GGPO for Melee when Brawl was out.
No.
Because Nintendo would have been like, fuck you, this game's still kind of new.
We're trying to make this game obsolete.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, but because Melee is dead, like the deadest dead of death, it can like live again and actually be less dead than other dead games.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I don't know. That is like an interesting conundrum because you think about that and it's like, I guess the first game that comes to mind that would be that way is obviously like Street Fighter 2. But the problem with Street Fighter 2 is the same one.
Go ahead.
It's the same one where like ultimately Street Fighter is still Street Fighter. And as different and shitty as 5 is, anybody who wants to get money, they're going to get money from 5 instead of 2. Whereas while all Smash games are similar, Melee is still so unique compared to other Smash games.
There's transferable skill and idea, but it's got its own.
Yeah, things transfer, but it has its own specificity to it.
Yeah.
That like a game like Street Fighter 2 wouldn't, because it is just like
too old,
so generic, and
it's
too
foundational.
old. How old is Street Fighter 2 now? 30 years.
Yeah,
I think 30
well,
years old.
Was it 89 or 91?
I think it's 30 years old, dude. Street Fighter 2.
I'm going to say it's 29 years old. 91, 92.
Date.
I'm probably thinking of Super Turbo, though.
1992.
92.
So, yeah.
28 years old.
Damn, dude. That is fucking wild.
But,
holy shit.
So, an interesting thing happened for Street Fighter 2, the same that happened with Vampire Savior, and that's Fightcade. Fightcade has, like, decent netcode, especially considering that the alternative for netcode is how close someone can be to you physically when you're sitting at a cabinet. Which is to say it doesn't exist.
Well, they've got it on PS4 now.
Yeah, but
the Anniversary Edition has online play.
But there's no support, so if you're going to do a Street Fighter 2 tournament, then, I mean, I guess that's on you.
You can do it on either one. Why wouldn't you be able... There's online play.
Yeah, there is online play.
So why wouldn't you be able to do a tournament on that?
Has there been one? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I have no idea. I would imagine there has.
To the best of my knowledge, I haven't seen any.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really looked for them.
Right? Same.
Yeah.
But do you know about the Cooperation Cup?
Sounds familiar, but...
Okay, so Street Fighter Third Strike is a brilliant game. It's not really a Street Fighter. Who cares? It's 2020. We're not about labels. The Cooperation Cup, it happens in, like, I want to say January. It's definitely a cold month every year. But it's just this one tournament. And all of the best Third Strike players, and Third Strike used to be the new hotness back in 1998. Third Strike was the shit, and everyone wanted to play it. And if you were any good, that means you had a big dick, and so that's why everyone was playing it. And like, you know, it's 2020 now, so that's what 22 years passed. I'm just making us older and older. Yeah, 22 years have passed since Third Strike came out. That game can drink. So like that
Street Fighter 2 has a 401k.
Oh yeah, because it knew it's investing in a 401k, Roth IRA. It's moving. It's making big moves.
God damn.
No, but Third Strike, the mentality of being good at Third Strike means you have a big dick. Never died. So like the Cooperation Cup is like a big team tournament that I think is played Pokemon style. It's been a minute since I've looked at it. But like you get like a 5-man team or whatever, and they get like 30 teams or whatever to come in. It's a 2-day event. They've usually got some weird like solo type tournaments and then the big team tournament at the end. That game is alive for 2 days in January. It's very
and it is very lively during that time.
Yeah, and that's And everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants to see it. Everyone wants to see someone win and beat the old gods. And Tokido's there, Onuki's there, whatever.
But I mean, do you think that game has any better chance than Street Fighter 2 at ever being as relevant as like Melee is?
No.
Melee is the only
strictly no
dead game that
came back
that isn't dead,
that beat the odds. Well, for me, I was thinking about this earlier. The things that qualify a game to be dead is that there is a marked lack of developer support, lack of community awareness, like people don't play it, and like it's at the end of it hasn't been replaced. Nothing has come by to sit in its spot. The people who play
it has been replaced. If it's dead, it has to have been. Didn't we just say that?
Yes.
Okay.
But if it's not dead, if it has no replacement, if there's community support and developer support of some combination, it doesn't need all three. It usually does.
It usually has all three.
Usually has all three to not be dead.
Yeah.
Melee is weird because it didn't have any, and then it's got so much community support. I don't think it can die, short of a cease and desist.
Which they already tried. I mean, they already tried.
It's not out of the realm of possibility to happen again, even.
Oh, I feel like it is at this point. They had so much negative press from trying to, cancel the stream in 2013.
You know what did that? Was the community support. There was enough community support that the severe, almost like developer harm, negative intervention from them was canceled out by the community effort.
Well, but that's what I mean is like, I don't know how you get that kind of like, people are always like, well, they're just this great community, and they really come out and they show up and they donated all this stuff. I mean,
they did. They
did, and that's true, but that's not
why it's alive. That's not why it's alive and Street Fighter 4 is dead.
Yeah, because they wouldn't, if they, like you said, if the Melee players liked Brawl, if Brawl was a good sequel to Melee would be so dead. It would never,
because it got replaced.
Yes, but it's never been properly replaced. Ever.
Yeah, because
and
no
so
game
that's
like
why there is still a large enough community to back it and give it that support. Whereas you can't have that with Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5. You can't have that with Marvel and Marvel Infinite because people leave. And you could say like not a lot of people or not, blah blah blah. There's still these people. Everybody still play. I mean, there's going to be people who play, but
not enough to mean it's
the
not
overall. Dead. Yeah. It needs to be, you need, like, fighting games are already small enough. You need...
It's niche.
All those casuals, all those... You
need the people who don't know better. You need scrubs. You need dumb people. You need your baby cousin who picked up the controller to
somehow, against all odds, there are still scrubs that play Melee.
Yeah. Because it's fun.
It's accessible, I think, now is a big part of it.
Compared to, like, your Guilty Gear Accent Core, which is a remarkable game that still gets a tournament and is alive maybe, like, 3 days out of the year.
Is that the last Guilty Gear?
Do what?
Is Guilty Gear Accent Core the last Guilty Gear?
No, it's the one that came before Xrd or Zerd.
Okay, people still play that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a whole. It's not like a.
The most new one is Revelator that isn't out yet, and then the one before that is Xrd.
I know Zerd, but then like
before that was Accent Core.
And Accent Core is a whole nother game. It's not like the arcade edition to Xrd's Ultra.
No. They did a rebalance. It was like Accent Core Plus R, but yeah, people play it. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I don't know enough about Guilty Gear to know all of them. So.
It's a fun game. It's really good. There's a great depth. I think you'd like it if you sat down, and you never will.
You're crazy.
Okay.
You're crazy. I don't like.
Take you through it.
Why would I like it more than Xrd?
You'd probably like Xrd more.
Okay, and I don't like it, so I wouldn't like Accent Core.
There's no way to know. It is a mystery. It's one of life's great mysteries. The point is, it's totally possible for a rational human being to enjoy the game, but it's not nearly as accessible, even by design, than Melee is. Not to say that Melee is like so watered down, or that the principle of Smash Bros.
Don't you think a big
down.
part of it is it's not even that. It doesn't even have to do with the game being accessible. It has to do with the fact that it's a Nintendo game.
Yeah, you can be Mario.
Yeah,
that's it. Pack it up. It's
live. A the IP, but B the console.
Yeah, like, because the GameCube was so
the GameCube
sold.
The GameCube was a very popular console with lots of people who weren't super hardcore gamers. I feel like Nintendo consoles are always that way.
They are by design.
Yeah, exactly. And so like because of the way the console itself was designed, more people were familiar with it, and more people have like GameCube nostalgia than have like. I mean, I'm sure there are people who have like PS2 nostalgia. I do. But it's, you know what? It's actually, I feel like it's the same thing though, because the people who have PS2 nostalgia, they're just like, well, there's just the PS5.
Yeah,
I'm just going to play that.
It's been replaced.
But the Nintendo consoles are less replaceable, just like the game Melee.
The game itself is.
Because the new Nintendo console is like the Wii, and that's a totally different thing than the GameCube, which is a totally different thing. Yeah, like I guess the Wii is similar to the Switch, I guess, but otherwise, I feel like they're well. I mean, fuck the Wii U and all that.
And then there was the Wii U in the middle, which I love.
Fuck that thing.
I fucked up. I should have brought it over here.
Gross.
I'd have waited until you were pizza drunk. And
the Wii U is an abomination.
Slipped the gamepad controller into your hands, and woo, there you be, having fun with Wind Waker HD.
No. Get out of here.
So I actually wanted to talk on like that sense of replacement. Is the most frustrating thing, the most frustrating situation I found myself in my fighting game career was really latching on to Persona 4 Arena. When Persona 4 Arena came out, I was like, this is the game. It's accessible in a way that not many fighting games are, especially not Arc System Works games.
Why is it accessible?
Why is it accessible? Yeah. It's a 4-button fighter that has the depth of a Guilty Gear, not quite. But that has auto combos that do stuff on a competitive level. That has 2-button DP, 2-button inputs. Like
it's easy.
It is easy to pick up. There's depth for people to try and like find some shit, but like
it's easy.
Anyone can pick it up and do a super combo.
Yeah,
that's good. That's immediate feedback. It makes people feel like they're playing the game. And maybe I fell for that. I don't know. But it was like a good game with characters that I liked, and characters that I liked from the story, and characters that I liked playing as a fighting game character.
Okay, but Lex, no one was going to play that game from day one.
Doesn't matter.
Because it's a weird-ass anime game.
It's not really that weird.
It's a weird-ass anime game.
The biggest problem wasn't old people who were afraid of space footsies like yourself. The biggest
problem is that it's a weird ass anime game that no one's going to give the time of day to.
Here, it was a weird ass anime game, and immediately after the game came out, they released the same company released Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus R.
Oh, too many games, and
it immediately outmoded the game.
The cross Tekken to the USF4.
Yeah, it came in, and everyone was like, "Fuck you! No, I'm not going to play Persona." The people in St. Louis
what a cool little offshoot game.
Yeah,
but
fuck you. But real people who have large penises, they play Guilty Gear.
I think that is a huge problem with fighting games in general. Yeah, they just keep releasing. We were talking about that today. It's like Capcom could have been making so much money just pumping shit into Street Fighter 4.
Mm-hmm.
The game was already made. It was already the most popular fighting game in the entire world. Probably the most popular fighting game that had ever been.
Yeah. No, it reached out in a way that even like Third Strike happened. I guess maybe Street Fighter 2. But
I don't even know that 2 has ever been as popular. 2 is... Okay, let's delineate. Because 2 is certainly still a bigger, more known game in the general non-competitive public eye. Yeah. But I don't think anything was ever as competitively big as Street Fighter 4 was.
True.
Like, the numbers they were getting on Twitch, like the concurrent viewers and shit, it is the only fighting game that has ever consistently approached, like, quote-unquote real esports.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's the same shit where, like, they just decide to drop it and make a new game.
Yeah, Street Fighter 4, we're doing Street Fighter 5. They actually tried it with Cross Tekken. Fuck Street Fighter 4, play Cross Tekken.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute, revert.
Sucks.
Yeah, Ultra Street Fighter 4 now.
FADC
like,
backdash.
But and it's like, I don't know why, I don't understand that, because, like, why is it so hard for these devs to understand that they already made the game? They could literally rest on their laurels by just pumping money into the marketing, into the extra bullshit cosmetic. Whatever the fuck.
Chun-Li is in a different China dress this time.
Like I don't get it. Like League of Legends, fucking Dota, all these fucking games are old, but they just have constant dev support. And it's like, you wouldn't even need to be as consistently supportive of the game as those companies are. You could update Street Fighter 4 once every 2 years, and it could be the most minor balance patches of all time. Yeah. And like, it still would have been fine. But like, they don't do that. They're just like, here's a new game, let's reset everything.
I'm pretty sure that the reason for that is that someone sat down and said, would we make more money on Street Fighter 5 or on Super Duper Street Fighter 4? And they went with Street Fighter 5.
I'm sure that is. I just don't understand. I'm sure that is what happened. I don't understand how
they came to that decision.
The fuck they came to that decision.
It's got to be on some basic level. They made an acknowledgement, whether or not it was rooted in truth, that was, if we make the game more accessible, more people will play it.
Surely everyone will play it now.
Yeah, if we make it so dumb that all you have to do is walk forwards and press fierce, more people will play.
I
don't even know if that...
Like, the stupidity of that is baffling to me, because I don't think...
But they did do it.
I don't think they should have never made another sequel to Street Fighter. But there's also nothing wrong with supporting a game for over 10 years if it's doing as well as it is. It's the same way with fucking... We talked about a couple podcasts ago with like Quake 3 Arena. Yeah. That new Diabolical game. It's like, thank God that came out. I haven't been playing it because like all I do is play WoW because my life is, that. But like, it's a great game. But it's like, and I hope Diabolical does well. And I hope it has all the support in the world. But it's like, at the same time, they've made 2 full AAA published versions of Quake after Quake 3 in the last decade. And they could have just kept supporting Quake 3.
And sold hats.
Yeah. Like, and then they're like, oh man, no, we're going to make this new Quake. It's Quake Champions and it'll be awful, but everyone will love it. And then they're like, why isn't this doing well? I guess no one wants to play Quake. What? No,
that's not what we said.
Everyone wants to play Quake. Just make it Quake.
Yeah.
Just make Quake.
No.
Like, God. So I've said like so many times on this podcast, like I have so much respect for Riot as a company, even though I fucking hate League of Legends and will never want to play it. Because I just don't...
I can't even look at the screen when League of Legends...
I just don't understand how these other companies are this stupid. Like, what... Okay, what don't I know as an idiot who loves these games and knows that there is a market for them that is potentially huge, that has seen how close we were to the pinnacle of ultimate esports with Street Fighter 4 for so long? We were so close, and we just shit it all down the tube for nothing. What don't I know?
That they do, that changes it, that makes it all so crystal clear.
Because I have a really hard time not coming to the only conclusion is that they're fucking morons that don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's baffling to me.
Or, hear me out, maybe your despair fears the dark god Azazel.
What?
You know, the blind destroyer, Azazel.
This is... Chris Who explains the DHC glitch.mp4. No, hell no! What the fuck did you just say?
It's Lovecraft stuff. The important thing is...
when he does the combo, it's comboing, but it's not a combo, but that's still a combo. Do you know what I mean? Hell no.
Okay, so Marvel 3, as long as we're talking about DHCs... Marvel 3 is kind of an interesting beast because it died when Marvel Infinite came out, right? But then Infinite blew chunks.
Yeah.
And nobody likes it.
Infinite fucked up even harder than Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
I think. Which, but it was it was a smaller disaster because...
They just didn't invest any...
Well, because people don't care about Marvel, if I'm being honest.
That's gentrification of the fighting game
community. Okay, but comparatively they don't.
I mean, it wasn't like, the closest that we got to a proper, upstanding...
Literally, there is Street Fighter and there is Smash Brothers and nothing else matters.
Well, now... 3 years ago...
No, that's how it always was. That doesn't mean those games weren't big. I'm not saying, they were big. Yeah. In the fighting game circle, they were big. But, I don't think anything other than Street Fighter 4, specifically, and Smash, mostly Melee... I think those are the only 2 titles that have successfully, consistently, seriously broken into the more mainstream esports realm of popularity.
Marvel has been in more Evos as main game than Smash Brothers.
Sure, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh,
like
sounds like it when I said it real slowly.
That's just Evo. Of course it is. Yeah. Evo has a bias towards non-Smash games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't I'm talking that doesn't I got you. I'm talking about like the overall awareness, like people who play quote unquote real competitive games, people who play StarCraft, people who play League of Legends, etc. They know about Melee. They know about Street Fighter 4. Maybe every now and then there's been a Tekken tournament that's done well. I'm sure they know it exists.
They should know about Marvel before Tekken, certainly, versus titles in general.
Maybe they're all kind of small potatoes compared to those two titles, in my opinion.
That's fine.
Like it's just the awareness. Like, so when Marvel, anyway, point being, when Marvel failed, it was a less obvious failure than like Street Fighter and Smash have been when they've failed. Yeah. So even though it was a huge failure to the Marvel fans,
to the Marvel community,
it's not as big of a bad PR hit.
Sure.
Is what I'm getting at.
What's interesting to me, and what I think cements my qualifications for a dead game, is that when it was decided, not just by me, but by everyone, that Marvel Infinite blows chunks, Marvel 3 made it back to Evo.
Yeah.
And now, that whole thing sort of petered out, and now we're in this weird realm where you can, it's fucking quarantine.
Do we even have Evo now? Exist. Because Evo is...
You don't know.
Evo might have been canceled for COVID anyway, but then also Mr. Wizard raped people in a water fountain in the 1990s or something,
allegedly.
And fuck, now that fuck,
like who knows? It's a scary hellscape that we live in now. COVID notwithstanding. But like now that's happening, and thanks to the genius of Parsec, which is
which
a thing
we
don't
used
understand.
And didn't make. I tried. Maybe. Oh, you know what though? What? Maybe it was your shit on your laptop.
Yeah, maybe.
We need to try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. His laptop was being stupid.
Bad
also, his laptop is ass and is terrible, but it was being extra terrible recently.
My old one. Now that Parsec is happening, Marvel 3 is getting bigger and slowly taking over whatever space was occupied by Marvel Infinite again. It's weird. It's coming back to life. It's not going to be in the same way that Melee has. It's not going to be in the same way that Street Fighter 4 could, but it is coming back more than it has been in a long time. And I think it's because Marvel Infinite outmoded it and is now dead. I'm going to sneeze.
Oh, you scared the cat. She jumped out of the tree almost.
Did she not hear me say I was going to sneeze? I think that's really compelling. It gives me a lot of hope that Marvel is seeing these numbers. Like, go to Kevin Ha's YouTube channel. People are playing in these tournaments. The quality of player is so
how many people are entering these tournaments weekly?
Like in the dozens. I'm gonna say they cap it at like 64 or something.
Okay, so it's dead. So it's dead as fuck.
They cap the tournament. They cap the tournament. So
they're filling out 64.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's not okay.
And it's not like for a weekly tournament, especially when you got to juggle all these people from like California, New York, and everything. I am like hopeful for Marvel to make it back to not Evo but Blevo or whatever the next version of it is going to be.
Blevo.
Yeah, I came up with that trademark.
Oh no,
no.
Blevo. Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we're canceled. So anyway,
I'm excited at the possibility because that means that you can take back, if you love a game enough, you can make it live. If you clap because you believe in Tinkerbell, she'll come back.
I don't think she can.
We can clap. Okay.
I don't believe, dude.
You've got a weird benchmark for success here because you're coming from a Melee background. You see Melee, you know how big it is, you know that it has bested the odds, and it's just as big as Smash Ultimate. It's not, but it's close. It's way better than it should be. It's big.
Considering that this has been Ultimate's first year of release up to COVID, Melee was still doing, I mean, people were saying it was dying because of Ultimate, but I think it was still doing fairly well considering. I mean, it's always going to have that, like when the new Smash game comes out, it's going to like drain it a bit.
Because it did get drained when Brawl came out, but then it fought back.
Yeah.
Hiccups. The
spicy pizza.
Yeah, the spicy's finally catching up with me. Sorry.
I made a very lightly spicy barbecue sauce, and Professor Lex...
Will's a fucking liar.
Professor Lex almost died.
It wasn't.
This man cannot handle spice.
I
can't
like it. Is the worst part. I like the spice.
You like it, but you just can't.
Yeah, I can't have too much of it because then I get the hiccups and I look like a little baby. You've got a weird benchmark for success because nothing will have the success that Melee has. I think that there is some degree of success to be had for Street Fighter 4. Not the same amount. Never the same amount.
I don't think it could ever hit where it was.
No, it can't.
What's the point?
I agree with you.
What's the point?
How many people does it take to enter a tournament for it to be worth playing? For a game that you like. For a game that you love. How many people were in the tournament today because you did enter, but that was me hoodwinking.
So, assuming like it's just this generic game that exists and none of this is true, I mean, obviously I could have fun in a fucking 8-man tournament at a local. But the difference is the regression.
The regression?
Yeah.
To what? We're not regressing.
We are. We have gone back. We were at the amazing point, and now we're...
I see. I thought you were talking about in quality of game.
No.
We're not regressing.
No. But the scene is like... So that's the difference. The difference is that it... And that's not to say you quit everything as soon as it dwindles at all.
Yeah.
But that's a very big difference from it like suddenly being completely not in the spotlight after... And knowing you'll never get to where it was at. Mm-hmm. That's very self-defeating. I think for me and a lot of people to just be like, and I do have fun. I had a lot of fun today, and I'll play in another Street Fighter. I'll play in another Street Fighter 4 tournament.
Yeah,
I'll never stop playing the game. Period. Mm-hmm. But I also don't think I could ever possibly get back the kind of drive that I had without it being the kind of game that it was.
I don't know that you can justify Street Fighter 4 being your main game as a player in the fighting game community. If you aren't part of the fighting game community, I don't know how you're listening to this podcast, but hi, thank you. If you're not a player in the fighting game community, games are so different. They all have a common root, and like the means that we use to get better at them, the social dynamic is largely the same between all of them. But like, there's only so many games that you can learn. And learning those games takes time, and it takes effort to grind out your combos and to work on neutral and to play people.
Well, especially considering the varying degrees of complexity of some of the games, right?
Yeah.
Like some of them are so like Street Fighter 4, like when I was trying to show Hylian it the other day, is just like, man, I kind of forgot like how hard some of the things are in this game. It's not really that hard, but it is hard to innately pick up compared to Smash or Street Fighter 2.
Melee would be just fucking awful to try and
learn Melee right now.
Try to learn or try to relearn.
Yeah.
If you had forgotten how to play Melee. Because like you have to sit there and practice tech skill in order to be able to play the game at a fundamental level.
Yep.
In order to get the utility out of fighting games that we are junkies for, you have to be like good enough to get it. You have to be able to play the game. And so like, if there's only so many games that you have RAM to play, you're disinclined or de-incentivized to learn a game that's dead. Air quotes dead.
Sure.
And so like, no one will in 2020 make Street Fighter 4 into a main game. I don't think that means that we can't play it. I don't think that means that we can't hit training mode in it every once in a while. I still have fun trying to do the trials. And I know I'm not alone.
I mean, yeah, but like that's, I don't know, that like you can always play any game.
Yeah, right?
Like, Jesus. Lex, you're so loud. Lex, geez, God, why do you have to be so loud and
Jeff,
boisterous?
Jeff, I know you're listening
and
to this
noisy.
Podcast. I know that you're at work. I know that you're doing your job right now. And
Lex told me
in the background.
Lex told me before we started this podcast that multiple people in his life have told him repeatedly that he is, quote, too loud. Now, I know I am a loud motherfucker, and that anyone by comparison to me does not seem
very
loud.
Quiet.
But you are not loud.
That's not,
you are not a loud person. Those people are insane.
My mom has been telling me, to the best of my knowledge, for 30 years.
So is it like when you hang out with your mom, you're just suddenly like, hey, I'm fucking Alex. Fuck you in the butt, mom. Boo, boo, boo. Like, no, you're the same person.
I'm me.
Yeah, you're not loud.
I feel like I'm always
you're not loud. You're not loud at all. That's ridiculous.
I'm told I'm very loud.
No. Do you have, oh my God. Do you have one of those weird, quiet families?
No. I don't mean to buy into racial stereotypes.
Are you? But we are bliggity black, and we watch the movies, and we yell at the screen reasons.
We don't talk over the movie. That's just rude.
Will there ever be a time where you like bring up a stereotype and don't immediately bait me into another like how dare you? No. How dare you take it so far? What was the one you said where oh shit, I think it was when we were driving to Combo Breaker and I was like, oh, you had a Cadillac. Did you have a Cadillac when you were old? And you were like, no, I had a Cadillac when I was black. Yes. I was like, oh shit. God damn it. Oh my God. Anyway, no, you're not loud, dude. That's fucking ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I don't understand how it's a possibility. I mean, I do come from a very loud family. This is one of the reasons I am loud. I acknowledge my loudness, but like, I can't imagine anyone saying that you're loud. That
consistently.
Like, and you swear to me that you aren't like a weirdly, completely different human around them. Like, if I go over to your...
Jeff, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell Will. Let us know. Let us know in the comments if you're anyone who knows me and has heard me be loud.
We know what Jeff's going to say. He's just going to be like, Will is so loud that he can't possibly understand that you're very loud, and he's just so loud that he doesn't know. I know other loud people. Like, I don't have, like... It's not like my ear doesn't hear the volume of other humans, and when I compare the volume of myself to other humans, I know it is much louder than them. But I also know that you're not louder than most other humans.
So like, I go to the same barber as my aunt, right? My aunts, actually. 3 of my aunts all go to the same barber as I do. And
Debbers.
Yep, Aunt Debbie. Aunt Debbie went to my barber and she said, Aunt Debbie said, oh, do you know that you cut my nephew's hair? And she said, no, who is that? And she says, oh, he wears glasses. He's biracial. I understand that's a lot of your clientele. And she says, yeah. And so she like...
A lot of her clientele is biracial?
Varying degrees of...
There are there are biracial barbers? I didn't even know that.
I think she is, but anyway.
No. Yeah. There are barbers who are biracial.
I don't think they stop you if
they're not like,
parents from different backgrounds, Will. You racist.
This is like, once again, I have been baited. Yeah. This will be the historically some point in the future. It'll be the evidence.jpg of my cancellation. Yeah.
We should have known. All the writing was there on the walls the whole time. No. So she says, what do you think of my nephew? And she says, he's kind of quiet. And Aunt Debbie said, Alex. Quiet.
You are quiet. No. You're a quiet person.
He's not.
Like, you're not.
I know he talks very loudly and frequently.
No. I'm not. That's not to say I would. Okay, I wouldn't describe you if somebody asked me whether you were or weren't quiet. I probably wouldn't. I would probably say you were quiet over loud, but I don't know that I find you like an especially quiet person. You are sometimes like quite quiet.
That's only in mic checks.
Yeah. Every time we do the mic check, we did it today. I'm like, Lex, say some things in the mic. He's like, hello, my name is Professor Lex. This is my mic check. I'm like, can you talk like a normal fucking person while we do this mic check? The whole point of this mic check is for you to speak normally. But yeah, no, that is weird. And speaking of the whole volume thing, this did pop into my head while we were talking about humans and their volume. I am extra annoyed about the lack of projection and gumption in other people's speaking.
Oh, thank God! I thought you were talking about me.
No. In COVID, because what happens is I'm at like a work meeting and everybody has masks on, and then there's like somebody. We're all like socially distanced around a table. I've got an omnidirectional mic in the middle of the table with a person who's on Zoom, and people are just like, "Hey, so I really feel like what we should do today." I'm like, bitch, you have a mask on. You have a mask on. And then they're like, I don't understand. It's so weird. Like, they have no problem hearing Will. You're so loud. I'm like, bitch, we're talking through a mask into a microphone. Like, what do you want? They're like, what, can it just pick me up? No, you're quiet as shit, bitch. Fucking, did you take speech for 1 second in middle school? Project.
Everyone had
fucking
to take
project.
speech in high school and in college.
So I always project, like, when I talk. I just don't.
I do the same.
Yeah, and like, I do actually feel that way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you, like, again, I wouldn't say you're an especially quiet person because you do sometimes, like, get into your little quiet mode, but for the most part, you do, I agree, like, actually project your voice. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people do not understand that they need to be heard when they speak.
Yeah.
And as somebody who like does understand that,
for a living?
who scares people for a living, it bothers me immensely because people are always so like, they're just like, oh, you're so loud. How do you do blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, how do you go through your life?
Live your life.
Speaking.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah. Like,
quiet ass motherfucker.
Yeah. Yes. Because it's like, you just, you think everybody fucking, like, I speak loud because I, like, the whole point of me speaking is that people hear what I'm saying. Otherwise, why am I talking and I wouldn't speak? I would just shut up and go to sleep. I would just
every day,
like
at
why
8
would
in the morning, but sleep.
Yeah, but like if you're gonna make an omelet, like put some fucking cheese and peppers in it. Like don't not put salt and pepper on it. Like if you're gonna ask me to speak, I'm gonna make sure people can hear what the fuck I'm saying because why the fuck else would I be speaking?
This is the truth.
I don't get it.
This is a
so
great
yeah. That annoys me greatly at work because there are so many weird soft talkers at my work, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Why are you like stop? Like it's horrible. Anyway, you're not loud. That's insane. Yeah, you're like a very normally volumed human.
I feel like one of my superpowers is that I'm able to be heard usually.
Yeah. But I don't ever feel like you're especially loud. That's you're not Pharaoh.
I claim that I project. No, Pharaoh's he speaks.
All he kind of does is he just kind of does this, and
he's a lot quieter.
I have a mustache and I'm very pretty, and I'm good at combos, and
this is the best. This is the best Pharaoh impression of all time.
It's uncanny, really.
You can see him in the audio.
You can imagine him saying that.
That's actually just we just played a waveform of Pharaoh's face. And that's what it came out as.
It makes me happy that you said that I project without me prompting you too much, and don't look back in the feed to see if that's the case. Because I claim that I project, and Jeff and Jen both just tell me, no, you're just fucking loud. So
they think you're loud?
Fucking loud, yeah. Me? I know.
It's
unfair.
They're 100%. They're going to be like,
of course Will said that. Will's so loud.
They're 100% going to say that, but they're wrong. They're wrong. That is not a thing.
Thank you.
I am very aware of how loud I am. I am aware of it. Like, it's fun to me. Like, I think for me, it's like, well, it's natural,
Sure.
Okay. But like, what I could be if I were a more empathetic, thoughtful person. I could think like maybe someone else in the room should be heard. Why would I want to do that? I'm way funnier. I'm way funnier and more interesting and smart than the other people who aren't loud enough to be heard over me. I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm not interested. Like I don't care if they were more interesting, I wouldn't be talking over them. Like, but they're not. I don't really talk over you that bad, I don't think. I mean, yeah, we get in. But like, no, I think that's like, I do, oh God, I don't know. I have a problem because I think most people don't know what projection is.
No, they
literally don't. And they get, I actually had a conversation the other day with somebody and they were like, oh, like, are you gonna let me talk? Like you're interrupting me. And I was just like, okay.
No.
On the one hand, I am an interrupting cow and I acknowledge that. But in that moment, that is not what was happening. What was happening is we were just having a dialogue. And you got mad because I was
not letting you monologue.
Yeah, exactly. And like, dude, I mean, I like a good monologue, but like, I don't get pissed if I'm going on a monologue and someone jumps in and goes, yeah, blah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
That means
I agree. Das stimmt.
Yeah. I always forget about your German until it comes back, and then it just comes out of nowhere. But yeah, like that's like you're like showing that you're interested in the conversation. And I feel like that's another deal where like people are like, well, if you really cared what I was saying, you would speak like this and we go blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that's not interesting. I want to like, if we're both really, really into the conversation, like I'm not saying every conversation needs to be passionate and excited and yelly, but like, I also don't get, I think a lot of people get like implicitly annoyed or they feel like hurt by the fact that you're like, oh yeah, fucking blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, dude, that means I am agreeing or I'm interested. Well, I don't want to yell over each other. Like, okay, it sounds like you just have really fucking boring conversations for your entire life is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you're trying to tell me that I'm an asshole, but the reality is that you're fucking boring. You're boring. Like, come on, man. So I don't know. Like, God, I have a little bit of extra harbored baggage, annoyance and baggage because this has come up a couple times recently, like I said, at work meetings because of COVID shit. And it just oh my God, it drives me nuts. I'm just like, dude, like if you have some shit to say, fucking say it or just leave the meeting and we can all be done. But we're here for 3 hours because everybody's just like, well, I'm going to monologue like this. Now.
What?
I'm going to, what if we just did that? I don't know. What if we did that? Well, I think we should do that. It's like, just say what you fucking mean. Say what you fucking mean.
Say it.
Say it out. Say it and then get it. Like, oh God, everybody is so afraid of pissing everyone else off. Like, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts, dude. No, not. Well, on the flip side, a lot of people think I'm a douchebag, but it goes. Oh God, here's some butt updates.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Here's some butt updates. So I was talking to Hocus Pocus, as we'll continue on the podcast.
Please.
And she said some shit to me when I was talking to her that like kind of threw me for a loop. I've never heard anybody say this to me before ever in my life. She was like, "Oh, do you always like call yourself an asshole?" And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's a thing I've said. Doesn't everybody kind of sometimes just be like generically, I'm an asshole or something?
Not me.
Like, no, it just doesn't ever happen. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, I didn't really think about it. And she's like, yeah, I feel like you say that a lot. And I don't really think you're an asshole. And it kind of makes me sad that you like think that. And I was just like,
that's so sweet.
I feel like that's a thing other people just say to me and make me say because they're intimidated by my loudness and I don't know how to deal. And then it was like a very weird, like out of left field. I was like,
did you have a dissociative episode?
Yeah, I literally,
who am I?
My actual response to her was like, thank you. This has been very thought provoking. I will text you at 2 a.m. when I have a manic breakdown about who I am after hearing this information. I was like, do I just say that because it's something other people make me think?
It's a self-defense mechanism.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I
don't know. It's interesting. So yeah, that was an interesting thing that I was just like, and then I actually did wake up at like 3 a.m.
You're not an asshole. I don't think so. But I don't correct you when you say that you're an asshole because it wouldn't do any good. You talk over me.
Like you're the fucking asshole like that you are. You fucking asshole.
And because I take asshole to be a shorthand expression for a multitude of character traits that don't necessarily mean that you're like a jackass and that you rub people the wrong way.
Somebody can be kind of an asshole or an asshole. It could be the same phrase, but you can understand it
different kinds of
different.
Assholes. Everyone's asshole is different.
Yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting. I was just kind of like, like I like
for you.
Yeah, my brain froze, and I was just like, I don't.
She sounds healthy for you, Will. I'm really happy.
She's pretty cool. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Good. We'll see. I'll see you all in a month when I'm
in the pits of despair.
Yeah, when I'm in the pits of despair, everything goes horribly, and I'm back to the usual downtrodden horribleness.
I hate Street Fighter 5.
Yep.
There's no hope in this world.
So yeah, I'm sure everything will go awfully, and then you can hear all about that. But
that's a self-defense mechanism.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah, it is. There you go. There
Good
it is.
For you. You recognize it.
We'll see. Anyway, I think this has been a podcast.
It's been about a podcast. Yeah. So just keep your eyes peeled for the Hype Dragon News Network.
No.
The series of tournaments coming soon to you. Will is already committed. He says he's going to do bi-weekly, so we're going to have Street Fighter alternating with Grand Blue, a different tournament every day.
Oh my God. It just seems like a lot of, that's like what I hate about it. It's like if I do like Ultimate Frame Date, I can just shit it out and it's good.
It sits there and it's just not.
And I get DMs, but it's not like pressing timely. Yeah. I think that's the thing. Tournaments are timely. Someone's like, oh, I need to play so-and-so now. And I have to like do it at that moment. Oh God, I hate that stress. I could still do it. I don't know. Anyway.
Who knows? Who knows what the future may hold.
I have been Metal Music Man.
I've been Professor Lex.
We will catch you guys next time.